Welcome back. I thought I would do a little current household type of video just to break up some of our Regency stories. I've been watching Magnificent Century on YouTube, which is about the Ottoman Empire and about like the harem and all that stuff. So you know that got my attention. It's very much about like, you know, cunning and trapping each other and poisoning each other and stuff like that. You know, I love the drama. I thought I'd introduce you to this save file. I was playing it for a while when there was an update and I couldn't really use any of my mods. So here we are. This is our Sultan. His name is Murad Khan. He is really not the most important person in this, but he's non-committal, a party animal, self-assured. He is the guy. And here is his palace that I built him without roofing. There we go. So it's just, this is not the most important part. The most important part is the harem, but I thought I would just show you what I built here. So it's just like a little courtyard with some greenery, and then um, there's a wall there for some reason in the middle of the sauna. What happened there? There is a sauna. So I wanted this to be very much like a woohoo spot. Like it doesn't have a lot of the other stuff. It has availability for parties so that there can be entertainment and drinking and dancing, and here's his throne and like his advisors can sit around it. And there's like a little place to eat. So there's just like kind of a ballroom area, and then upstairs is his like private quarters. So we have like a little entry room with like his desk and a chessboard and stuff, and then a sitting room, a big bathroom that I got from the already created rooms bedroom. um, so yeah, just this is the place that the ladies go to hopefully get pregnant. So that is him. And then the other important build is the harem itself. There is like a little area where all of the children are for the nursery. And then just like I did use your Sims, you guys, for these. But yeah, there's some people who have married out because Murad actually is my second generation of this. The first generation was kind of like a trial generation for me. I was trying to figure out what rules I wanted to implement. So this is something I have a Google Doc for. I'll show you in a second. But this is something that you guys can do yourselves. I have a whole document on rules and that kind of stuff. So if you guys are interested in this, you would be able to play using the rules I've played. And yeah, so here's the harem. We have like a nice little outside seating area. The pond to maybe push someone in, a chess table, a games board, and then down here is kind of the eating area. That's a buffet table. The ladies who are not favored sleep over here in these sleeping bags. There is a bathhouse with, a sauna and I know that technically the Sims don't bathe in here, but they would if if that was the case. And then like a little learning room where they learn how to be, you know, graceful and wonderful. And upstairs are the favorite rooms. So we have like the big one for the current main favorite, and then like a couple of other bedrooms for some lesser favorites. So right now we have this is Hattis. She is the HBIC. Can you change your outfit so that you look good? Thank you. She is the HBIC. She is in charge. She has a son. Actually, though recently she has kind of been on the Sultan's bad side a little bit because of all the drama that's been happening in the harem, and he's kind of like, you're supposed to be in charge of this. Why aren't you handling it? She is currently infertile. I believe she had two sons, and then she was poisoned, and so she cannot have any more children, but she does have current children. All of the rest of the ladies are pretty new. We just had kind of an overhaul where everybody got killed. But we have Zahide, Farida, and Adara, who are all new. And Hadis is in charge. There is no Valide Sultan. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but like the mother of the Sultan, she's not currently alive. So, but if she was alive, she would kind of have more control over the harem. So let's go over to some of this stuff. So I have our family tree right now. You can see that when I started, I had, a mother Sultan and her son Salim. He married well, not married because they didn't really get married. Magnificent Century is like the first time ever a sultan ever got married. But Salim, he had many concubines. So Layla was very favored. She had a son. He ended up passing. But yeah, so she had a bunch of. Um, so the mother of the current sultan, I believe, is her. And yeah, so he had a few. Like she only had a daughter, so you know, her son died young. Her son died young. So I think I wrote in here. Let me see if I did a good job of that. Nope. Oh, there we go. I wrote biographies under everybody else, I guess, except for him. So Layla was the first concubine to be added to the harem of Sultan Salim Khan. She was chosen for her loyalty to the Valide Sultan and bore the first son. Although he was sickly, she was demoted after Safiye had a son because her son was healthy. She poisoned Gulfem when she was pregnant to get rid of the baby. Gulfem tried to kill Mehmed. So lots of stuff. Lots of stuff happened. I don't know how deep I should go into all this because there was a lot that happened. But currently, our current sultan, spent his youth going on campaigns with his father, was the only son old enough and well enough to do so. So he quickly made a name for himself. When he returned home, his mother assigned him 3 concubines, and he had one son before his mother was killed. In rage at his father of not protecting his mother and letting Aysel usurp her position, he killed his father and became sultan. For his first act, he killed Aysel and her son. His reign was plagued by assassination attempts and disharmony. So lots of stuff, but currently, oh, okay, well, I was wrong. Her child is dead. The other child is alive. I haven't been adding pictures for the children that are alive until they become young adults. So, she has one son that's still alive. Fatma has a daughter. She was, I don't know, she was married off after her daughter was born. So another daughter. Her Banu had 2 sons. Only one of them is alive. So you can see that like a lot of daughters were born too. But yeah, so that's his family. He only has 2 sons that are alive right now. So he has a lot of daughters though. And this is his sister. And um, she was a concubine who got married off, or not married off, but I think one of them had an affair baby with somebody else. I forget. But yeah, so I won't go too much into all of this specific family. This is kind of for me to introduce you to the game. I was using ChatGPT to get names. So let's talk about the rules a little bit. So Magnificent Century in The Sims. You have your sultan in your harem. And how do you decide who gets to be the partner for the night? So it can either be his choice if, he has someone he's paying special attention to, someone who's caught his attention, someone who he's been corresponding with. It could be the Valide's choice. So if you want her to pick you, you should make friends with her. There could be a schedule. Thursdays belong to the Haseki, which is the favorite. They could win a contest or get attention at an event. They could bribe someone. And I made a rule they can only be with the Sultan if they've reached level 5 etiquette. And then they can focus on their special skills. So the royalty mod actually has a new feature, which is concubines. So the Sultan or monarch can assign women as concubines, and then when he comes, you can click concubine and woohoo. And so you can also give them favors. The favorite can, they can shun each other. Lots of things can happen with this mod setting. Yeah, concubine. So shun concubine, start a rumor. Like there's lots of fun little subterfuge that you can do there. And they are each assigned a special skill, so that's why I was having them work on their special skills. There's some music happening back here. Do not. Okay, here's the big problem with this is they keep getting romantic with each other. Is the problem. But yes, if there are less than 4 concubines, add more. If a sim gets sick, roll a 1 on a d4 to see if they die. So there is a lot of death and stuff in this one because there are lots of things that happen. But yes, we need to make sure that there's always a certain number of concubines because if there's not, then where's the drama? We have childbirth rolls. So if a mother rolls a 1 through 3, she dies. If a 4 through 6, she had a difficult birth and now cannot have any more children. 7 through 20, everything's fine. For the child, 1 through 5, it dies. 6 through 10, it's sickly. Or 11 through 20, it's healthy. Most women only have 1 son before not having any more because of infighting, but exceptions can be made. Of course, if you watch Magnificent Century, you know that harem gets all the exceptions for everything. So I guess it's not a hard and fast rule because the Sultan does what the Sultan wants, right? But when a child becomes a teen, they get their own household and they get to start having concubines of their own. The child who proves themselves the most and has the best relationship with the Sultan can become the heir. Of course, our guy killed his father. So the Sultan can feel threatened by his sons gaining power and execute them. And when a new Sultan rises to power, he needs to either kill his brothers, send his brothers away, or keep his brothers under house arrest. And then we have the drama. As you know, my favorite part. So each day, actually, I've been rolling a drama roll. So let's say it's Monday. We have a drama roll. We're rolling on a d20 and we get a 7. So 7 is a child death. So roll for which child dies. If you choose to have someone cause this death, roll to see if they get caught. Whether they get caught, whether there's suspicion, or whether there is no detection. Could be that even the Sultan kills his child. So if we go over here, I have a list of the children actually here. Let me go to this is my secret notes that you guys don't see, but here is Murad. Here are his children. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 children. So let's roll a d10. Child number 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that is the only other son. Okay, so that could be definitely something that is caused by Hatis, maybe, because she's been losing the Sultan's favor lately. And so because of that, she's worried that her son will be, overthrown by his brother. So that could definitely be a possibility where she tries to get rid of the child. And then that way her son is the only option currently for an heir. So let me go back here. So let's roll to see if she gets caught doing this. A 9. Suspicion, but no proof. So I think his mother is dead. So maybe there is suspicion, but there's no one to look out for this kid. His mother is dead. So there's no one to look out for him. So I guess it doesn't really matter. She probably wouldn't go herself. She probably actually so she has sent a note to one of her maids to kill the child. So let's just go here really quickly where I have way too many Sims in this household. So Orhan is the one who is going to die. So you can kind of spin a story as you go along. This wouldn't have made sense, except in my story already, this is just a house I downloaded from the gallery. Where is Orhan? Here he is. It wouldn't have made sense except that also I didn't give any of the children any makeovers. Except we already have that Hatis is kind of losing control because of all of like I said, right before this, a bunch of people died. So the Sultan is not happy with her leadership in the harem. So let's say that she calls one of her maids to give him a poisoned apple. Oh shoot, I didn't take his picture though. Hold please before you eat that. Just a moment. Oh no, I think I might mess up because I have too many Sims in the household. They might get automatically purged. Oh no. Also, I don't really have any CC for the kids. What's this one? That one looks okay, I guess. No, it doesn't, but I don't know. I don't really have any CC for the kids. I guess this. Even though it's not really correct, we're just gonna roll with it. Actually, you know what? Let's just get a picture. And then I'm actually gonna cancel so that it doesn't delete any Sims just in case. Oh, why do I keep going back to that? Because all we needed was the picture. It's okay if he dies in different clothes. Shots. Here he is. Okay, so here he is. Are you dying or do I have to kill you again? That might be an issue. Okay. Get a picture of him. But yeah, so this is the kind of thing you can do. Um, at the beginning, it's a little hard because no one really has a reason to hate each other. But, or yes, Magnificent Century. Rod. That's spelled wrong. Anyway. But yeah, so it's definitely something that you build up the story over time. You know, oh, this person's fighting with that person, this person hates this person, and then all of a sudden you realize that you've got a whole thing going on. Where is he? Here he is. I forgot to make him black and white. That would help. So now Hatis's son is the only son currently, the only heir. Get him. Sure. And then I'll probably put under Hatis because I have her biography going. Oh yeah, after her other son died, she became more protective of Bayezid. So much so that she had her maid poison the only other living son. So yeah, stuff like that. We're just, Hatis entered the harem before Murad became sultan with two other concubines. She was the only one to bear a child before he ascended, and it was a boy. She became Haseki sultan. Since there was no Valide, she's in charge of the harem. She dealt with various things, including bullying of the young women. After a difficult birth, she became infertile. She didn't have any more children. She befriended all the ladies. Like, she was like a very good, like, in his father's time, it was awful. But like Hatis has been very good about like guiding the women and being friends with them and stuff. But eventually, you know, there is some drama and he starts to like be mean to her. And so she starts to not care. So it's one of those things. Here, you pick up that. I didn't mean to do that. I'd like you to put it in your inventory. You can't do that? Okay. But yeah, so over time, she's kind of become a little disillusioned and a little more into the politics. But yeah, so we have these options for drama for everything, miscarriage, illness, poisoning, disfigurement, infertility, sudden death, child death, new concubine, entertainment event, visit with Valide, secret affair, blackmail, marriage proposal, war. So, like, war is a good opportunity for him to choose a son to take with him on campaign. And if that son, goes on enough campaigns and gets like a really good reputation, he could be the heir. The Sultan dying early, the Valide Sultan dying, a foreign prince or princess is visiting, child story progression. So, this is like, he has a daughter and like, let's marry her off. Um, Roll for a sickly sim to become healthy. So that's a good way for like a child who has been sickly, their whole life and maybe isn't in the running for heir to then become healthy. That happened to her first son, Hatis's first son, and then a physical fight. So I just love the drama. I love the drama. So it was just kind of a fun way for things to happen. I don't remember whose turn it is right now, but let's say that since the Sultan isn't getting along super well with Hattis, let's invite one of the other ladies over. How about, it looks like he has the best relationship with Zahide right now. So let's say that it's her night. So she comes over. I can't see her. Is she not here? There she is. Okay, so she comes over. It's friendly. And maybe spend some time together. Maybe play a match of chess. You know, like that kind of stuff. Like they have the night. So they are. Oh, he's sad because his son died. Yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, so they're just going to spend the night together, maybe getting, this is like an opportunity because Hatissa has been very fair. She's given each girl a night, and so it rotates. And so basically, it's an opportunity for each girl to talk to him, to get to know him, to try and become a favorite, to try and, get his attention and to try and get pregnant, obviously. So they'll play chess and whatever, and then I don't know if he can't do this because he's sad, but like under concubines, he can offer a small kindness, speak without formality, correct her tone, give her a token. Um, if he has a strong enough bond with her, he can make her a favored concubine, and then he's too sad. Yep, hold on, let's fix that. I'm sorry that your son died. And if I was really playing this, I actually might not have him do this right now, but since we are showing you guys stuff. Click on her, concubine, intimacy. And so I always do this, woohoo and not try for baby, because I have my woohoo percentages on. So whether they get pregnant or not. Why are you still playing chess? But yeah, so like downstairs is where they would, have the entertainment events and stuff. Okay, there we go. See? And then their relationship has gone up. They're going to woohoo. And if she gets pregnant, then she's very lucky. Let's see. Is she? Nope. Well, that's too bad. He's tired though. But yeah, so it's definitely a fun thing to do, a fun way to play for me because I love the drama. And so, like, literally every single day I do a drama. So it definitely builds things up a lot. But it's fun. I think it's fun. So if you guys want the rules, they are here for you. Maybe I can go over Salim's story. Murad's is not finished and is much longer because I played Salim on short lifespan. So obviously not as many things happened. But yes, I have the rules in the description below if you'd like to play. It's not a challenge or anything, but it's just fun. So let's talk about Salim a little bit and then we'll end. So Salim first got with Layla, who I say recommended for him. She was the first concubine. She was chosen for her loyalty. She had a son, but he was sickly. So when Safiye also bore a son, so Safiye became Haseki Sultan eventually. She was demoted from Haseki, and when Salim ascended to Sultan because Safiye's son was healthy, she poisoned Gulfem when she was pregnant to get rid of their baby. And since then, her and Gulfem were enemies. Gulfem eventually tried to kill Mehmed and was executed. He had survived. After that, she was able to get one over on Safiye, who was Gulfem's ally. To get more time with the Sultan, she blackmailed her, which resulted in another pregnancy, which was good because the Valide Sultan had passed and she lost her strongest ally. But shortly before her birth, she was poisoned, and both her and the new baby died. So I haven't been adding every single baby because obviously we run out very quickly of space here. You can see how much space we do not have. So Safiye was the second concubine. She was immediately at odds with Layla because Layla had a son, but once Selim became sultan, she became Haseki because her son was healthy. We just talked about that. She conspired with Gulfem against Layla, but found herself backed into a corner once Gulfem was executed and Layla was pregnant again. She decided to get rid of her and poisoned her. While she was heavily pregnant, both of them died. When Mehmed became a teen, she pushed him off of getting a concubine, using his health as a reason. But after a while, the Sultan was like, "No, you gotta start producing more heirs," since he himself did not have enough. So she decided to get rid of her son's competition once and for all, and killed him. She was disfigured in an accident, and she suspected someone but couldn't prove it. Coupled with the fact that she had reached the adult life stage, kept her out of the Sultan's bedchamber. She was devastated that he no longer kept her at night, but she took her power from her son, who was the crown prince. In her desperation to protect herself, she killed Mustafa, hoping they would pin the blame on his illness, but she was caught and placed under house arrest because her son begged the father to spare her. She had been pregnant the whole time, gave birth to another daughter, and then Nisander, who was the mother, I spelled that wrong, ended up killing her in her grief. So that was kind of what we talked about for Murad and why he killed his father, because of his mother's mistreatment. Not mistreatment, because she was bad too, but you know what I mean. Like, he saw it as mistreatment. Gulfem had grand aspirations and was fortunate to get pregnant quickly, but she lost the baby after she was poisoned. She knew it was Layla, so she allied with Safiye to bring Layla down. She betrayed her, though, in order to spend the night with the Sultan again, got pregnant, had a girl, but couldn't get back into his bedchamber, so she poisoned Mehmed. So you can see, like, her daughter had gotten married and had a daughter. That was some of the child story progression. Nisander was sent to the harem as a political ploy from her family, but she was never considered a great beauty. Because of this, she did not see the Sultan for a long time, but just when all hope was lost, she had the opportunity to spend the night with him and ended up getting pregnant with twin boys. The first did die in childbirth, but Mustafa was sickly, and then after her son was killed, she couldn't take it anymore and killed Safiye, and they executed her for that. And then the last concubine who actually had a child. He had many more, but I only included the ones in the family tree who played a big part. So Aisel played the game well. She made friends with everyone and took nights when she could. She had a healthy son, and she started to play the game a little more harshly. She is the one who disfigured Safiye. Multiple servants were executed, but no one knew who did it. This removed her rival, especially since the Sultan did not desire Nisander like he did her. After Safiye's expulsion from the harem, Ansel became more romantic with the Sultan and saw the opportunity to steal his heart, and so she ended up being killed by Murad when he ascended. So I'm having a lot of fun with it. Probably, I think I've been playing this on a longer lifespan, and I think it's too much because, like, look. So at first, like, this guy, he had one. Oh gosh, I can't even see with all these lines. One. Okay, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He only had 7 kids, whereas Murad is already at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. He's already at 13, and he's still young and healthy. So, short lifespan might be the way to go, unless, of course, you want to play the drama not every single day and then build up to it a little bit better. Maybe you roll that there's a poisoning and then have some events that lead up to it, versus like I was just literally every single day something was happening. But you don't have to do that. You can do like once a week something happens, or that might be a good way to play, is like do the roll and then spend the week like leading up to whatever would have kind of happened as a result of that. Especially at the beginning when you're like, oh, is there, you know, people don't know each other as well. Alliances haven't formed yet. So definitely a lot of options, but I just had so much fun with this. I thought I'd share it with you. I really have been having a lot of fun. I haven't actually played it in a couple of weeks now because I was playing it because of the update, but um, I definitely will go back to it in the future. It's a good one. So yeah, if you'd like to play, I mean, let me know if you are interested in playing it, or if you are going to play it. Honestly, I love Sim stories so much. I love them, and I really do want to hear about your Sims. I just watch YouTube videos of people telling stories with their Sims all the time. So if you guys have any Sims that you want to tell me about, I would love to hear about them. So that is really all for today. Just a little bit of fun on the side, outside of Ultimate Decades and stuff. It's good to get a little palate cleanser here and there. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll catch you in the next one.